Welcome to another episode of TOI Locker Room, where we get to know India's top stars, top sports stars, I must add, not just their life around the sport that they play, but also life beyond it. The table tennis icon we have with us today needs no introduction. With four Olympic Games appearances under him and a fifth Asian Games appearance coming up, Achanta Sharath Kamal is the constant when it comes to representing the national flag at the highest stage, the biggest stage. Welcome, Sharath, to the show.
Thank you very much for having me over.
We are just starting yet. It's the first segment that we want to quickly get into, where we get to know Sharath, the person, not just around the TT table, but away from the TT table as well. First to become 10 times national champion, 7 Commonwealth Games gold medals, Asian Games medalist, Padma Shri, Khel Ratna, Arjuna Award. Do you ever get tired of hearing all this, Sharath?
And I want to add one more, an Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
That's the dream. That's the dream of every sports person.
Amen.
Of course, it's going to be very, very tough. But, over such a long career, I'm actually very, very fortunate to have such a long career. I would like to thank my coaches and my family. First, my mother and father, recently now my wife and my kids, for supporting me through this very long journey.
You mentioned your family. We all know the contribution of your father, who has brought you to the stage that you are here now. Tell us something about that.
My father was playing for Tamil Nadu state. He was just representing the state. And he understood that he couldn't go further ahead. So he thought coaching would be something where he could actually give back to the sport, one, and secondly, as a livelihood for himself, to support the family. It was as a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, he used to take me to the club, spend the evenings there. So I would be there playing with the elder boys and girls, just not table tennis, but just, some throwing the ball or, running and catching or hide and seek or any of those games at that point in time. And I still remember very vividly that a few of the senior players or the assistant coaches or my dad used to carry me up or put me on top of the table and help me, play table tennis. So that was the early, memories that I have of playing table tennis. And my dad always wanted me to do well in table tennis. The way I continued to grow, once I became the national champion, then he felt like, yes, I can do also well in the international level. And 96, 97 until 2001, 2002, there was quite a lot of struggle. I was pushing myself very, very hard, training 2 times in a day, going to school, doing my fitness and everything. Still results weren't coming, but he was always very confident through that whole struggle.
You mentioned that your dad used to take you to the clubs. We would carry you there when you were a lot younger. Are you doing the same with your kids?
Yes, actually, yes. I don't need to do that because I'm spending so much time in the table tennis hall. My son is also more or less there. He's there with my younger brother's son also. So these 2 boys are most of the time they end up in the table tennis hall. We have a table tennis hall on the terrace. My daughter, she doesn't play so much of table tennis.
But during the days when you used to babysit, what was the best thing that worked for you in terms of keeping the kids busy?
And I'm actually quite good with kids. It's a complete stress buster. When you go to the kids, they're always smiling, and their smile just lightens your whole the mood around you. So there were days when I lost in the German league. I would lose 2 matches, and the team would have lost because of me, and then I'm so dejectedly I go home, and there my daughter is there, asking me to play with the Lego toys or something.
So daddy's boy or daddy's girl, or mama's boy and mama's girl?
Both of them at a younger age, they used to I was traveling. I'm still traveling a lot, So they wouldn't get so much of me, so they would always be very attached to me. But now my daughter is more attached to the mother, and the son is still dad's son. Yeah, dad's boy.
So, are you a movies person? Means the family may be a movies, but you guys have movie nights and all that at home?
We like, me and my wife, we like to go to the cinemas and watch movies. At home, we do like to watch, but I don't like the experience so much. My wife, she likes, so my wife and the kids are sometimes watching at home.
When you were playing and at their age, and then you had to deal with your pressure of the academics, the study, and then balance it out with sports. I'm sure you having first-hand knowledge of that, you're telling them how to do it if they want to pursue serious sports.
Yes, that's something which I would advise any kid that they need to do. Besides academics, besides education, they should be able to follow something what they like to do as a hobby, as a passion. But there has to be something which you can always fall back on and feel there's a sense of fulfillment, there's a sense of happiness. My daughter, she plays the keyboard, and now she's moved on to a piano.
Wow.
So that is something which she likes to do. Then I like to play some. I would like to play the guitar, and we would like to make some music and try to play some songs.
That's very good to know, because very few people get to know about our sports icons. What are they beyond the sport that they play? And that brings me to ask you, which many people would want to know, that how the sports icons at the topmost level keep so focused in this social media age where there are so many distractions, especially the cell phone.
It's very tough. Okay, I come from an era where there were no cell phones. We still used to have only landline phones, and you had to call a landline to talk to a friend. We used to stand in lines when we were in national training camps to wait for our turn to talk from the STD booth to talk home. I can actually guess that the younger generation have a lot of difficulties in terms of keeping their focus into what they like to do rather than so many things around. So all that I can tell them is, or even tell myself, even to myself, is I need to stay focused I need to first do things what I like to do. So when I'm doing that, I don't want to pick my phone up, or I don't want to do anything else which distracts me.
Thank you so much, Sharath. This brings us to the end of the first segment, where we got to know you as a person. And now in the second segment, we'll talk more about the sport, what's happening currently, what you're looking forward to, and all that stuff. You're almost like Leander Paes, who used to never get old. I'm sorry I'm using that word, but still.
No. I'm actually feeling great when you're comparing me to Leander Paes. Man, he's got an Olympic bronze medal and so many Grand Slams. And when people actually compare me to Sachin Tendulkar or Leander Paes, I feel fantastic, because those were idols who I grew up watching them.
And you're going to be, I pray that you're going to be the first table tennis player to win an Olympic medal for India.
Yeah, I hope that's the only medal which has evaded me for such a long period of my career. And I hope Paris 2024 will be able to fulfill my dream, my medal wardrobe, the medal cupboard which has all the medals. But yeah, of course it's going to be a very uphill task. It's going to be a very tough one. But if I would have not dreamt of becoming a Commonwealth champion or an Asian Games medalist, I would not have come so far.
But before that is the Asian Games, which is equally tougher, considering all the TT giants are from Asia and are going to be there. So I'm sure you're focused on that, and you want to make sure that the 2018 medals were not just one-off. India is getting there among the top table tennis nations, and Asian Games medals will continue.
Yes, very true. As you said, the Asian Games is very, very important, not just for the players, not just for the whole scenario around, But it's also very, very important in terms of the funding that the federation gets, because when we are able to say that we are able to win those medals at the Asian Games, then our budget automatically goes up, because we come into a priority sport. Let's in terms of getting in for the Paris Olympic Games and the future years ahead.
It's interesting to point out that you mentioned that medals at the Commonwealth Games, the Asian Games, they make the sport a priority sport, and then the funds go up and all that. But on the contrary, the demand for a foreign coach, hasn't been heard. A high performance director, you have lately said, that is required. So how does it balance out? Because at one time it's becoming a priority sport, but then again the demands are not being met.
That's also because we're playing so good. so
they think that you don't need a coach.
There's no stress around. But to create a structure, to create a continuous and organic system which is producing champions, we need that kind of a system where there's a head coach, there's a high performance director, there's a panel of coaches who are working together, so that the younger players are always watching the senior players and growing up. So it makes a very easy cycle that goes in. And the current federation is actually looking at building that.
It's interesting, again, you talked about younger players and building the bench strength and inspiring them. Srija is one of those who you have played with. Actually, she's been a national champion as well. So what do you think of this new crop, especially when you are playing with them also in mixed doubles?
It makes my job more difficult, because they have seen me win my first title when they were in, I don't know, kindergarten maybe. So
Srija is how much younger to you? Srija, I guess, is 16 years younger to you, if I'm not.
Yeah, 16 years.
Yeah,
16 years younger to me. So it's very overwhelming for them. For them to be with Sharath Kamal, talk to Sharath Kamal, it's already like, wow. I'm so shy, I'm so tired, I'm so timid about doing it, for them. So I have to get them out of their comfort zone and still make sure that the necessity is you need to perform and you need to do well. India has never had difficulties in finding talents. We've always done well in the junior level, but getting them, the transformation from them for the juniors into the seniors is where we need to have a clear structure and a system in place. I don't know in what capacity, but I will be around to help the younger kids.
Thank you so much, Sharath. That brings us to the end of the second segment, and now we'll move towards one of the interesting segments, the rapid fire, where we throw some tough questions at you and you don't have much time to answer those.
Okay.
The first one coming at you: how to define Sharath away from the TT table?
Very gentle, very calm, very quiet. Completely contradicting to my game phase and the aggression.
The yells and all, If you want to thank one person for everything you are, who would it be?
One person is too less, man. It's my wife.
Your favorite color?
Orange.
If stranded on an island alone, how will you try to catch attention of somebody, maybe an airplane or maybe a passing ship or what?
Actually, at the current scenario, I would just stay there on the island. I don't want anybody to help me. No contact with any of the journalists, any of the press, no table tennis, nothing. Just stay there for a
say thank you. Thank you for getting me here. One word that comes to your mind when I say mobile phone?
Very handy.
What is it?
What is it that
that you don't have but want to have?
Olympic medal.
That's actually an obvious answer. Your favorite destination?
Anything with the beach.
The car you like to drive?
I'm not a very car person. Of course I like to have a Mercedes Benz. I like to have the S class, but I'm more a motorbike guy. So I would like to have.
So have you been on bike rides, expeditions?
Not to expeditions. I generally, when I'm home, Sunday mornings, I take my bike out and I'm driving for like 3 to 4 hours. I go almost to Pondicherry, Chennai. Not Pondicherry, but at least 100 kilometers up, and then take some breakfast or something. Then I come back.
Maybe one day you can
That's my unwind.
plan a bike ride with Dhoni. Maybe he's a
yeah, maybe yes.
yeah. Okay. The kind of movies you watch.
Actually, I like all movies. I just like to go to cinema, have my popcorn, watch that movie without any disturbance for like 3 hours.
Okay, one last question on the rapid fire round, and to end this segment and the show, but it's a tough one. I'm sure you will find it tough to answer as well. One Bollywood actress you can't deny going on a date.
Going on a date. Okay. Recently, of course, there's Deepika Padukone, who's very, very nice. She's also my wife's favorite, so maybe she'll also not say no.
That's a smart answer, actually, Sharath. Very smart. The experience shows off. Thank you so much, viewers. This was Sharath Kamal on the TOI Locker Room. Please stay tuned with us for more episodes. Thank you so much.